Ah, Chainsaw Man. The manga you start reading for the titties and violence, but stay for the domination fetish. Chainsaw Man used to be my favorite manga of all time, before I realized JoJo's had more than 6 parts. Nonetheless, despite cool endings and potentially even sicker reboots, it has remained one of my top 5 mangas of all time. But I wondered, how weird does the story of Chainsaw Man sound to an outsider, whose knowledge of this series is through Kobeni strip games on Twitter? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Blushy Spicy. Well, today I grabbed my friend Hester and tried to explain to him the story and universe of Chainsaw Man. Tell me, how familiar are you with anime?
Depends on which anime. So not really. I'll just say that.
How frequent are you with current anime coming out this year?
No.
Less frequent, okay. How frequent are you with yard work? You know, working outside with your hands, getting dirty, that kind of thing.
Actually, pretty frequent.
Then you will love this. You will love this anime called Chainsaw Man. I don't know if you've heard
Oh
of it.
no! I've heard you guys speak of this.
Yes.
Oh no!
Basically.
What does this have to do with yard work?
He has a chainsaw.
What?
He has a chainsaw. That's his thing.
That's not yard work.
It is yard work.
Chopping down trees is not yard work. I don't go out to my yard and chop down a tree. I go to a forest.
Well, you've still done it, so you know what? It's perfectly
Bruh.
right in tune with this. So,
Sure.
I'm not gonna try
I'll
to
give you this.
like spoil anything for you, just because it is still airing. Just in case you are gonna be, in case I do sell it well enough, and you do watch the series, I don't want to be spoiling anything for you. But I'm gonna just go over briefly like what the world is like, and then just like the general plot of like getting into it. Basically just like the plot of episode 1 as it establishes everything, kind of like my Chainsaw Man elevator pitch, if you would.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try to keep it brief because last time I did this it went for 40 minutes and that was not
Yeah,
a
that
pain
makes
in the ass to edit. So
Have fun editing this.
yeah, we're gonna try to keep it, you know, a little bit faster, a little bit quicker than that, to, you know,
Yeah.
not have to go and edit all of that again.
Now,
But
how can I draw this out for 50 minutes?
I will have a questioning period at the end, so you can ask
Ooh.
all the questions that you want about this show. Because with
The
the
question
way
I'll ask is, can you re-say everything?
can you I wasn't paying attention. Can you reinstate everything you went through all over again?
And you have to include everything you said in the
Oh,
video
no.
twice now.
Oh no.
El bozo.
Oh no. But
Hee hee
anyway,
hee.
let's get started. So, essentially, I forget the exact term for it. I think it's modern fantasy is like the genre, where essentially the world is the exact same, except for one key detail. That in the world, there are just devils walking around. And essentially,
Oh yes, very similar.
these devils are not like, they're not your normal thing. They do come from the underworld, but they're not like how you would imagine like a normal devil, Lucifer style, incubus, succubus. It's not like that. Instead, these devils are almost like a personification of fear, where how much people fear something, that devil is strong. So, since people are really scared of the dark, a dark devil would be very strong. But people are not scared of League of Legends, so a League of Legends devil would not
Are you
be
sure
very
about that
strong.
one?
Maybe not.
I think it would surprise you.
The League of Legends devil is here to get you.
That might be the strongest one. You better watch out.
He might be the strongest one. The League of Legends devil.
Oh god, I'm gonna wake up in a cold sweat
Yeah.
thinking about League of Legends. Oh no.
But to be able to combat these devils, since they are all over the place, there's a different branch of the government called the Public Safety Division that is tasked with killing devils, protecting people, and just all around trying to make the world a better place by getting rid of devils and that kind of thing. and that's
Okay.
where we get into our main boy, our main man Denji. So, briefly into Denji's backstory. He is in debt to the mafia, like a lot.
Okay.
Because his dad was very in debt to the mafia, and his dad died, leaving him very in debt to the mafia. So, when he was like 6-ish, actually maybe a little bit more than that, maybe like 10, he was at his father's funeral, and the mob came up to him and they were like, "Hey Denji, I know you're going through a lot right now, but you kind of got to pay us back like a lot of money, so get working." Okay, well,
We're at the funeral?
Yep. He literally buries his dad, and it's like, well, all right, time to start working.
Back to the mines.
Denji goes about this in a multitude of ways. Because basically, dude has to get as much money as he can. So the dude starts like doing random labor tasks, like he does some wood cutting. Anytime somebody offers him money to do something, he usually goes and does it. He also starts selling his organs, like he sells his eye, he sells one of his kidneys, like everything. Essentially, he needs to make as much money as he can, so he starts like just doing anything. But since this mafia is very, well known, they also are tasked with murdering devils, so they start making Denji go and murder devils. Which, for a normal person, it's like, that's going to be pretty tough. But luckily, Denji has a little bit of help with him, as he has a little tiny boy, a little tiny friend. His name is Puchia, and he looks like if you took a dog and a chainsaw, put it in a blender, and then you get Puchia. He is adorable and he's great.
I'm intrigued. Is he cute?
Very.
Good.
Here a second. Where's the little dude? Oh, there's the little dude.
Oh my god.
Look at the little dude.
What is that on his face?
It's a chainsaw.
Oh, he's a chainsaw.
He's a chainsaw.
That is incredible.
Yeah, so basically, with the help of his little chainsaw friend, he's able to go do yard work. He's able to like go hunt devils, and he keeps doing all of like his little yard work stuff, all of his tasks, until eventually one day he is tasked by the mafia to go and just kill what he thinks is a random devil. He gets to the warehouse, he shows up, and really, it's a trap. The entire mafia organization has fallen victim to the zombie devil, which is essentially, there is a big centralized husk, and he has turned the entire mafia organization into devils. So, Denji is like, okay, well, you know what, this is pretty good. I mean, they're paying me to literally murder all of them. Solid! So he starts like ripping and tearing, like murdering all of them with little Puchia. You know, he's trying his best. He is going and he's just like murdering through everything. Sadly, it is to no avail. The zombie devil is way too strong, and Denji dies. Oops, sad.
Elbozo.
But as he is dying, he still has Puchia with him. Puchia sacrifices himself and becomes Denji's heart. So he basically soul bonds with Denji, and they become one and the same. So now that Denji,
I can't watch this all fudging cry.
Well, to be fair, Puchia still like talks to Denji. He still has he's still in there.
That thing speaks.
Yeah.
What is its voice like? I'm very intrigued.
It doesn't speak until he's actually bonded with Denji. He just makes like little rough sounds, but when he's soul bonded, it's literally like the soul talking to each other. So he's like, "Denji, I know we haven't known each other for long, but you are my best friend."
Does it speak in a deep voice?
I think he actually does have a pretty deep voice.
That's incredible.
He's a little chainsaw guy. But basically,
it's adorable.
Because Denji has now bonded with Puchia, and Puchia is the chainsaw devil. Look how very cute the chainsaw devil is. Now Denji becomes something called a fiend, where a fiend is basically like a human, but has devil powers, and also drinks blood to like regenerate themselves.
As you do.
And yeah, so with this, Denji is back alive, but there's a big problem. Zombie Devil is also still alive. So when they see Denji crawl himself out of the dumpster they put him in, they're like, bro, ain't he dead? What happened? Why is he here? Then Denji's like, okay, it's time to murder everybody. And now Denji sees on his chest that there is a cord of a chainsaw coming out of his chest. And as he pulls the cord, he is able to transform into the Chainsaw Man, which is one of the most badass looking characters you've ever seen.
What?
He has a chainsaw coming out of his forehead. He has chainsaws coming out of both of his arms. And he is able to rip and tear some good ass. He's just...
What?
So he starts going, cutting up everything, murdering. It's very graphic, very bloody. Just like murdering the devil and just like stabbing all of him. The devil dies. He has ripped and he has torn it to shreds. It's gone now.
Bro.
So Denji is exhausted. He collapses. You know, this was he battled throughout the entire night. Sun comes up. Remember when I was talking about the public safety division? Well, one of their leaders, her name is Makima, she got a call that there was like a rampaging devil. So she's like, oh, well, obviously I gotta go fix the problem. So she gets there and just sees Denji. Already finished the problem, very malnourished, and very dying because he hasn't eaten a lot. He just murdered everything. And also, yeah, the chainsaw form like takes effect on his body. That's why he has to like drink blood after using it, because you know there's a chainsaw coming out of his freaking head. He's gonna be bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Makima like takes him in, starts feeding him, and Denji instantly develops a crush on her. Like instantly, he's like, this woman. I love this woman. I must be with this woman no matter what. Woman time, gamers.
Of course he does.
It's woman time. So, Denji starts working for Makima with the sole purpose of getting with her. That is... And I will... Okay, brief little thing.
Watching Shad maneuver.
One of the main reasons that this show is amazing and that I love this... Okay, I'm more familiar with the manga. The show is still coming out. One of the main reasons that I love this manga is that Denji has the most real motivations I've ever seen. Like, you have some heroes where it's like, Deku, I will fight for my friends. I will make sure that all my friends are safe and that we can all have fun together. Nah, Denji is not like that. The entire first arc, guess why he's fighting? I'll give you a hint. He has to save a cat. He has to save a cat. Why is he fighting to save the cat?
It's the lady's cat.
No. There's a different girl. Her name is Power. And,
oh, no.
basically, Power offered Denji, a squeeze of her titties if he will go and save the cat.
What?
Yep, she offered the titties if Denji goes and saves the cat.
Did he get them?
Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. You'll have to watch this show and find out. But, so essentially, Denji joins Makima in the public safety division, and this is essentially his story on how he like grows, how he goes from being basically a street urchin to like a pretty respectable dude. He's just a normal guy who can happen to turn into a chainsaw.
Oh yes, very normal.
And then every arc, Denji has something that he wants, and somebody he has to murder. So in the first arc, it was this guy who stole the cat. Okay, go and murder them. Second arc has to murder a different devil for a different reward, but I don't want to spoil too much of it because the rewards are great, and the initial shock value of like, oh man guys, we have to go fight this devil. Oh, Denji, you've never felt titties before, you would like to? Well, go murder that devil for me. It's like every single time, it's great. But there's a main trifecta of characters that it's basically Denji's team, where it's Denji, and then there is another fiend. So like you know how Denji was the chainsaw devil combined with Denji? Well, there is another fiend, and her name is Power. And I'll let you guess. So that's her character design. Guess which devil she is on. What devil is she? What's she going with?
I don't know. I don't know. Fighting like smoldering someone in their sleep or something. Let's go. Suffocation. The suffocation devil.
Suffocation devil.
Why not?
It is to deal with, so it's the Blood Devil, where so her powers is
Oh.
she can like basically just bleed everywhere and morph her blood. Kind of like that one, I forget the one guy from My Hero, the guy that can manipulate his blood, but it's kind of like that.
Oh, yeah.
Where basically she is able to just like, I think her most common weapon is just bleeding and then making a blood hammer and then beating people with it.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then basically, so Denji, power, and there's one more person on their team, and he's not a fiend. Even though he has contracts with devils, he is not a fiend. He's just a regular guy who has a contract with the devil, and his name is Aki, and he's kind of like their main teacher, where he's the most trained of like killing devils, and he essentially teaches Power and Denji like more how to work with it. And he actually has a.
I was like, he'll die then.
No.
He's the sensei. They always die.
Well, he's not more of a sensei character. If anything, Makima is more so like the sensei. He's more of like the almost like the main smart guy of the group, where you have Denji, the dumb guy, but he's the powerhouse. You have Power, the dumb one, but she is impulsive, and then you have this guy, the one smart guy, who's just kind of like, he's super logical. He's like just the smart guy. He has two devils contracted with him. He's not a fiend where the devil like morphed with them. He basically beat the devil into submission that they formed a contract with him. And I'll let you guess one of them, because one of them is very potent and the other one is a little bit more of a spoiler that we'll get to. But what is one of his devils that he's contracted with?
So it has to be like a fear or something, right?
Yes, all of the devils are a fear of something. So Denji's, it was a fear of chainsaws. Power's, it's a fear of blood. And then, so for this devil, what do you think it is like a fear of?
I mean, he has a sword. So I want to say a fear of swords, maybe?
Fear of swords? Well, it's actually, he has a contract with the Fox Devil, where basically he can summon a massive ass fox to eat things, and that's what he does with his little hand symbol. He goes comb, and then a massive ass fox head comes out and eats things.
It looks like it's bigger than the building.
It's not bigger than the building. It's just the head. Like, it's not an actual fox. It's just the head of a fox. But the fox head is pretty big. It's pretty massive. But yeah, essentially we have our main cast of character, these three, just going around and essentially solving a bunch of different, like, crimes. Well, not crimes. It's just a bunch of devil attacks that are going off all around the city. And so we have these three characters all trying to, like, solve devil attacks. There's different characters that get introduced later on. Like, some of my favorite characters are Reese. She's just like another character that's there. We have a fan favorite named Kopenny, who is basically just a very big coward. But a lot of people like her because she's like the normal, like, quiet girl. She's there. She's just like really anxious and basically scared shitless the entire time, crying. That's Kopenny. She's pretty cool. And yeah, those are like our main cast of characters as they go along, hunting devils, doing that kind of thing. So what's your initial reading on this show? What are you thinking about it?
I don't fucking know. Like, what the Okay. I was thinking, like, okay, they think, okay, common fears and stuff like that, but then nope, here's a fear of foxes.
Well,
blood.
People are afraid of foxes, so they would have a fox devil.
Yeah,
and then depending on how afraid people are of the fox devil is how powerful it is. So it's a pretty, like, mid-tier devil. It means people are probably like scared on foxes, or like the majority of the population is just like scared of foxes. But if you had like something like, here comes the shanking devil, everyone's pretty scared of getting stabbed in the stomach, so the shanking devil would probably be pretty strong.
Oh god, not the League of Legends devil.
The League of Legends devil is very controversial, as you can see.
I gotta run, bro.
The League of Legends devil.
As long as I don't fuse with that one, I'm chill.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, essentially, they're all just having fun. Honestly, the show it used to be my favorite manga, and then I read JoJo's, because this was before when I just, like, read random mangas. Chainsaw Man is very good. I highly advise watching it because it is airing right now. If you like before, I'd have to recommend people read it. Now I can just recommend people watch it because I'm pretty sure episode 11 comes out on Tuesday, and then now we just have to wait because they might end the season at 12 episodes. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. I'd advise that you watch it. It's pretty cool. And no matter what you do, just don't check like Chainsaw Man Twitter. It's very horny. The amount of things that Ali and I have just talked about, where it's like, oh wow, damn, I really like this character, and okay, and there's them naked, and then that's pretty okay.
Oh no.
There's a lot of because this show is very real, where they just like talk about sex all the time. They talk about like, it's just a very real show. It's not like My Hero where everything is sugar-coated. The protagonist touch hands, one blush, and then turn away. Nah, this is real. This is real.
Bruh. Of course it is.
But all in all, it's pretty cool. I would advise watching it or reading it to some extent. I do think that reading it is a bit of a better experience. Maybe just because I read it, and because some of my favorite parts are still yet to be animated. But it is very cool. Well, yeah. Do you have any like closing statements on the entirety of Chainsaw Man?
Sounds interesting.
Is that a good
But, like,
interesting or is it bad interesting?
I don't know. It went from okay, mafia story to okay, cute little thing with a chainsaw. Okay, he's dead now, and now he's with this guy who can transform now. And then there's like, oh, here's other characters with one with a giant fudging fox. Like a bro.
Yeah, Aki's whack like that.
Well. Okay.
But yeah, that's essentially Chainsaw Man. I hope you have fun watching it or reading it if you do take up the mantle of watching it.
Maybe I will.